Am I in the air?
The Jonathan Brandmeier Showcast.
Jonathan Brandmeier. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, wait a minute. This is Graham Mack. You there? Did you?
Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm now connected up. We're doing it.
Connected up, indeed we are. Listen to this. I want you to hear this voicemail, and we will begin talking. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny B. I just wanted to let you know I was watching your London podcast with Graham Mack. Really cool piece of work there, man. It brought back memories of when I started out in radio, and I'm no longer in radio. I only got my one chance one time, and it was hilarious because when the guy wasn't having me working in the studio, he was having me hang pictures in his living room or collecting checks from the talent that were coming in off the street. It was a very wild time, but hearing your stories about being on the radio in the early days and the business, all the stupidity and fuckery that goes on, it was just hilarious. And while my experience was way smaller than that, I still picked up on a lot of it, and it was really cool to hear. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank Graham Mack.
Wow.
Hey, Graham,
that was
there
cool.
he is. Indeed. I've never heard the word fuckery before. That's a new one for me, but that's Graham Mack, GrahamMack.com. Graham Mack, the one, the only award-winning UK radio personality. Graham Mack, hear him on the Pod 20. Yes, we are, right?
Oh, yeah. The
London's
Pod 20
Podcast
goes out
Radio.
every Friday on Podcast Radio. Yeah.
Podcast Radio London. And, of course, the biggest story coming out of London this week is the biggest live rabbit in the world has been stolen. Do you know?
That's right. It's a tragedy, Johnny.
See?
Yeah.
Did you see that? That is the biggest live rabbit in the world has been stolen from a London home. You guess how big that rabbit is? It's 4 feet and 3 inches long.
Yeah.
That's a big
big bunny.
No, wait,
Big bunny.
Is that a real story? You did hear that, right?
That's a real story. Yeah, that's a real story.
Did they find the biggest rabbit in the world?
No, still not found. Still missing.
Okay.
Still missing. So it's a big mystery. It's overshadowing everything. And we've had a lot of news lately. In fact, we've had a lot of tragic news lately. Well, they're saying it was tragic, but I don't think that many people are that bothered about Prince Philip. But hey, there you go.
Oh, wait a minute. The prince is the funeral. Were you at the funeral? Did you go to the funeral?
I
Prince
didn't.
Philip dead?
No, there were only 30 people invited to the funeral, and I was obviously not in that 30. If they'd gone to maybe 35, I might have made it. But no, I didn't go to the big funeral at Windsor Castle. No.
Could get Graham Mack at the funeral in this giant church with no one in it.
That's a weird.
right.
Did you see a little bit of that? I mean, obviously they cover. I saw enough to know that there was nobody there in this giant cavernous church, and it's just it's amazing.
And the church is on the grounds of Windsor Castle, and that's where they've buried him. So he lived at Windsor Castle for a lot of the time. So it's like they've buried him in his own backyard, like you would do with a rabbit.
Hold on a minute. They would likely bury Prince Philip dead at 99, the world's most famous husband, married to the Queen, Elizabeth II. They would bury him the same way they would bury the giant rabbit if, in fact, that giant rabbit is dead.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it'll be the same way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The reward for that giant rabbit is $1,375.
Yes. Yeah,
that
that's
seem like
quite a chunk of change.
Doesn't that seem like an odd number, Graham?
And I think it's because of the conversion rate, because of the British pound.
1,000.
And when it's converted into dollars, it comes out as a really odd number.
And if you see a picture of that rabbit, I don't know, Buzz, have you seen this rabbit?
I haven't, but I've dated women that were smaller than that.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
4'3"?
No, 4'3".
I got that beat.
Okay, I just got a text. That is the weirdest thing. I just got a text from Gino who said, I attended the annual Midgets and Dwarfs charity ball at the Chicago Sheraton last night. I paid $50 for a woman to go up on me. Yeah, and you, Buzz, you never dated a woman 4'3".
I have.
It doesn't seem. Let me just stand up for a second.
Not dated, one date.
Oh, I see. One night stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she could get lost in that famous bush of yours if she's that smart, couldn't she?
Has that gone international?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. The bush has gone national. Graham Mack is carrying the word of Buzz's untrimmed bush around across the pond. Oh, hello, Governor. Buzz has a hairy bush. Hello, Governor. Ooh, there That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay. You just started, though, by Graham Mack. Of course, the rabbit is the foremost on my mind. But you did say something about the prince, of course, dead. It's all this. And
Now, this is a really big deal. When I first, I started, I'm from Britain, but I lived in Australia for a long time, and I started on the radio in Australia. When I first came to my first British radio station on the south coast, 2CR FM, which I think stood for Two Crap Records. Anyway, when I first started there, I said to the producer, I said, what's that light in the studio? And he said, oh, that's the obit light. I said, what's that? He said, that light will come on if one of the royal family dies. Wow. I went, what?
Really?
He said, yeah. Anyway, so clearly the light has come on, because when the news came through on Friday, immediately, pretty much every radio station in the country, every TV station, everything just went into this obituary programming. And I didn't know what had come on. I turned the radio on about 12:15. I think the news came through about 12:10, Friday before last. And they're playing David Gray and Adele and Coldplay nonstop. And for a second there, I thought I died and I was in hell.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it was the Prince. The Prince, and they wasn't even done that slick. Vanessa Feltz on Radio 2 was in the middle of giving out a text number, and they just went zip, and then went straight to this obit procedure.
Who does that, Graham? Does that run by the British, by the royalty, by the royal family? Who just stops all of that? And it's almost like an emergency alert here in the United States.
Yeah, well, each radio network or owners have their own pre-recorded thing that they went into, and the BBC have their own. In fact, the BBC's they've only got two terrestrial TV channels, the main ones, BBC One and BBC Two. They both went into simultaneous rolling tributes of Prince Philip for about 48 hours.
Yeah.
And the programming received over 100,000 complaints. It's the most complained about thing ever on British television, because people were like, where's my shows?
The most complaint. I saw that, and I don't know, these days you don't know if you're reading something. Is it real? Is it not real? The most complained, the coverage of Prince Philip's funeral, death, and passing.
His original death.
His original death had more complaints than
anything else.
In British television history. Now, wait a second.
History,
Graham, didn't we just hear a story similar to that with Piers Morgan walking off the set of the morning show there?
And also the royals involved there too. Yeah.
Right.
Because of Meghan Markle and the Oprah interview, yeah.
Okay, now wait a minute. The complaints are coming because it's too much coverage,
Too much.
And they miss their favorite shows.
Yeah.
I saw
It went wall to wall for about 48 hours. And, there's stuff going on. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's a pandemic going on, And,
what are you talking about? What are you saying? Over there, you got a pandemic? Buzzy, Buzzy, you know anything about this? He said there's a pandemic.
I didn't know it went international.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we got that. So that's been going on, but there was no news of that. They've been rioting in Northern Ireland for a week. There's no news of that. And to be fair, Prince Philip died of natural causes in his sleep at the age of 99 after living a life of luxury at the taxpayer's expense. I'm failing to see the tragedy here.
Okay, pull him up the BBC immediately.
I don't even think Prince Philip regrets it.
No, he doesn't. He seems like the kind of guy, as I heard someone refer to him as being cheeky, all to the very end. I believe it was cheeky.
Cheeky. Who said he was cheeky? Do you want to hear some of the cheeky things he's done and said?
Quite cheeky. Yeah, now, when you say cheeky, explain it. When over in the UK, when you say someone's cheeky, explain that.
Well, it depends whether you're royal or not. Some people would describe cheeky as maybe racist or sexist, but because I used to do a thing on the radio called Donald or Duke, where I would give a line that a famous person had said, and it was either Donald Trump or the Duke of Edinburgh, and the listener had to guess
Nice.
who had actually said this.
Hold on a minute, man. This is Uncle Joe. I got to write that down. Wait a minute. What is it called
Donald
again?
or Duke.
Donald or Duke.
Donald or Duke.
I wonder if that would work if I weren't. Would it work if I was just in Moline?
What would you like to play the game, Johnny? I've got some of the quotes here. If you'd like to play, so you can guess whether they were said by the Donald or Duke.
Let's do it, Graham Mack.
Okay, then Donald or Duke. So this famous person is on a walkabout and he's meeting school children, and he meets a 13-year-old called Andrew Adams. This is in 2001, and Andrew Adams says to this person that he'd like to go into space, and this famous person said, "You're too fat to be an astronaut." Was that Donald Trump or was that the Duke of Edinburgh? Donald or Duke?
Buzz?
What are you going to go with? Donald or Duke?
I'm going to go with the Duke.
I'm going to go with Duke.
Duke is the right answer. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Let's do another one. Graham Mack in
Okay.
London in the UK. Here we go. Do another one.
Okay, so he's visiting an area, and a female officer is wearing a bulletproof vest.
We're
And he
playing
says to
Donald
the-
or Duke.
He says to the officer, "You look like a suicide bomber." Was that Donald or Duke?
I think there's a theme running here. I'm going to stay Duke. Buzz?
Duke.
It was the Duke. Yes, that was the Duke of Edinburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Stored away, Isles Lewis.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's what you would just say is cheeky. Could be racist, could be just a little racy. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Just a wiseacre.
He's a wiseacre. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cheeky. I always thought cheeky meant like, oh, he's so funny and cute. And,
Well,
saying,
they say that because he's he's married to the Queen. That's the whole good news about this. If you want to live a life of luxury, the Queen's available again.
Buzz? Buzz?
Seems like it would be
She's
a short
single.
life.
Buzz, I swear to God, if you can get the Queen to marry you, I swear it would be the Graham, can you introduce them? Graham, you're in
How
London.
tall is she?
She's not that big. She's
doesn't-
really not that big.
Can she go up on you?
Oh, man, that is awesome.
Can she go up on Buzz? Shotgun. And, oh, my God. Wait a minute. The Queen, when I saw her just today, I'm watching on the funeral there, she seems very much smaller than I thought she was, actually. So, Buzz?
Yeah.
She is a tiny woman. Yes,
I
she is
didn't
tiny.
even think you were going that way, but that's the way you went. Yeah, you know what? The good news is Prince Philip, has passed away. That's the bad news. The good news is the Queen is single. That's basically what I just heard you say. You're saying that the people complained there was a lot of coverage. It was wall to wall in the UK, in Britain. It was wall to wall Prince Philip's coverage all over the place. They complained because they couldn't watch what shows? What were the shows that they were really pissed off about that they couldn't see?
I think, let's see, probably Great British Bake Off was cancelled, which is a competition for people baking cakes. It's very English.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been missing. The Graham Norton show would have been cancelled as well, which gets, I think he had Tom Cruise as a guest this week as well.
Boy.
So, yeah, so some big shows. And the newsreaders as well, because of royal protocol, all the newsreaders had to wear black. And I went through Twitter and... one of the few channels that didn't go this way is a channel called CBeebies, which is a BBC channel for children. And somebody complained on Twitter that Mr. Tumble wasn't wearing black.
Jeez, that's weird. That whole concept is weird. Cartoons not doing it, but these
To miss your favorite show or a couple of your favorite shows is that's far more disturbing than a natural disaster somewhere.
Yeah.
This is what keeps your life going, these shows, not the celebration of the death of some guy that we, haven't seen in a while.
But wait a minute. How can you miss a show in this day and age when you can TiVo it, Devo it, Blink it, Blank it, Bloke it, Hulu it? How can you possibly miss a show? So come on. But, the most complaints ever, and then I'm looking, the Piers Morgan thing was one. They also, the second or third one was Jerry Springer, the musical complaints.
Yeah.
Complaints about Jerry.
They ran it on TV, Jerry Springer, the musical,
And what's Gogglebox?
Oh, yeah, it's Gogglebox. It's where they have people sitting on their couch at home watching TV, shouting at the TV and talking to each other about what they're watching on TV. That's an actual TV show. That never made it out on Friday and Saturday.
It's called Gogglebox.
Gogglebox. Where you watch people watching TV and they're all going like, why is he wearing that coat? He looks silly in that. What do you think? Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. Yeah, that's a TV show.
Wait.
Is it successful?
Oh, it's massive. Massive.
Right.
Gogglebox.
Yes,
massive.
The reason that it's successful, there was one of the more complaints about missing that show than almost anything else because of Prince Philip's coverage of the funeral and his death.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they probably were watching the funeral during the show. That's what they were talking about.
Then they would have got away with it if they did Prince Philip the funeral, the Gogglebox version of Prince Philip's funeral. Like, why is he in a Land Rover? What's that all about? Yeah.
Wait a minute, how come the Queen's so short? What's going on with that? No, that would be great. But wait a second. Is the whole pitch of Gogglebox, because now we need to get this in the U.S. Gogglebox is we have got, let's say it's me, you, is it three of us? Me, you, and you, Graham Mack?
It can be 3 or 4 people, or maybe just 2, but
okay.
it could be the 3 of us. Yeah.
Okay, and then
the 3 of us
and we got goggles on
TV. No, you're just watching TV. Gogglebox is the nickname for television. We often call a television a gogglebox.
You lost me already. I thought we had to wear goggles. I'm thinking, what? I was about to ask you, Graham, I was just about to ask you, why do I have to wear goggles?
What do the goggles have to do with it?
Yeah. We often call the TV, like you might call it the tube or something. We call it the Gogglebox.
My favorite Tina Turner film, by the way. What's goggles got to do with it? Okay,
that's right.
Okay, so you watch. Okay, so we watch a particular show. Like, let's say we watch a show that's already an oldie. What do we?
Yeah.
How does this work?
So it might be a movie. It might be the news. It might be it might be people watching the moment when say it probably wasn't one of these, but say Star Wars when I am your father kind of thing comes out and people go, bloody hell, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
that kind of
wow.
Or, but they can be watching anything, anything, and that's Gogglebox.
How could that not be a great show?
And the people who are on it have become celebrities themselves. It was only a matter of time before we get people watching Gogglebox on Gogglebox.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I got a pitch for you. I got a pitch for you here in the U.S. Gogglebox over in the U.K.? How about if we have people commenting on the people watching Gogglebox in the U.K.?
Right.
That's a great one. That's a great, Graham. That's great. I want to get into that. All right, listen. All right, hold on a second. So we have to learn. So Prince right now, everybody's calmed down. The Prince is gone.
After the funeral now it can go away. Now we've gone through this supposed period of mourning. All the flags can go back at the top of the flagpole because that was a rule. All flags in the country are supposed to be at half mast right now.
Yeah.
But they're not all. You go past a few car dealers and they haven't got the message.
those gold-darn car dealers. I'm just supposed to have the flag at half mast. No, I got Toyotas to sell. Are you kidding me, man? We should learn about the Prince, though. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, was named as the Queen's primary
consort.
What is it? What is a consort?
He was a consort. Well, he basically, because that's why he's not the king, because he's the consort. She was in line to the throne. He wasn't. He married her. So he's the consort. He's basically her offsider, her gopher, really.
I hope.
But he was just as good at waving.
I'm sure they wouldn't invite Graham Mack to deliver the eulogy.
That's why I wasn't on the list for the invites for the funeral.
Yes,
Johnny.
I can say this is Graham Mack from UK's Podcast 20, the London Podcast Radio, and I will say this. He was a gopher. Prince Philip was a gopher, a toady. Nothing more than a man. His function was to support the Queen.
It was. That was what he was. That was his duty. His royal duty was to support the monarch. Yeah.
Isn't that all of our duties if we're married?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he'd have to wait for her to come out the toilets with her friends and all that. It's like
what?
Waiting for.
You're definitely not giving the eulogy at my funeral.
When a few of you go out and you're with your other halves and they all go to the toilet together and then you want to move on to the next place and you all have to wait for your one to come out. It's like waiting for your luggage at the airport. He'd have to do that.
I like the halves. The half. That's the wife you're talking about. I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you are so cheeky. Oh, indeed you are. Speaking of luggage, I read where Prince Philip carried his own luggage. He carried his own luggage, and he cooked his own breakfast in his room with an electric frying pan until the Queen objected to the smell.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Yeah. He was a big fan of barbecues, and he once in Scotland, where it's cold, in January, where it's coldest, he once insisted that the Archbishop of Canterbury enjoy a barbecue with him outside. I don't know why he did that.
Come on out. Come on out. He summed up his contribution to British life like this. Some people think I've done all right. Some don't. What can you do? It's just too bad. They'll have to lump it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do love that. What's the deal with Harry and William? I didn't see enough to see those guys walking. They walked together. They walked alone. They like each other. They hate each other. What's the deal going on with those two guys?
Well, we think they hate each other now after the Oprah interview. And so what they did is they put a guy called Peter Phillips, who is their cousin, in between them. So so when they walked along, he was there like in case, in case a punch was thrown or something. I don't know. He was going to stand. I don't know what he was going to do. But in the end, he actually stepped back a little bit. So it was more, instead of a straight line, it was more of a triangle. So that they were, in fact, standing together, but at a distance. So it was all very awkward.
Wow.
They said she's pregnant, and so she's not coming. She's been advised not to come over. I think she was advised not to come over, but I don't think she was advised not to come over because she was pregnant. Because, pregnant women can fly planes, never mind fly on them.
Right. First thing I thought of, Graham, when I saw the news that she was not coming to the funeral over there was she probably went, oh, thank God, I'm going to say I'm pregnant. I can't come. But as you said, come on with that excuse, right?
Yeah.
You can fly a plane.
But then again, you wouldn't want her to be the focus of the thing, would you?
No, of course not.
He's had all those years as the consort. It's his day.
Yeah.
Although he's not,
No question about it.
So she probably did the right thing. She was advised not to go. It probably was the right idea.
What
the
is
big
the
deal was
take?
that they weren't wearing military uniforms, but they wore their medals. I don't know why that was a big deal, because traditionally, the royals would wear their military uniforms, but they didn't. They wore morning suits, but had medals on.
Yeah, I read where he couldn't salute. He wasn't allowed to salute.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Man, oh man, I gotta put you in charge over there. And what is the take though? Really, what is the opinion? The overall, when people are hanging in the pubs, if they're still doing that or can do that or whatever it is.
We can this week that they've opened the pubs again, but you have to be outside. You can't be inside, and you have to have table service.
Yeah,
But luckily the weather's been okay for that.
What is the take? What's the talk of the pubs? Meghan Markle, yes or no? Like her, don't like her, hate her, don't care.
Pretty split. But a lot of people. See, I'm not that bothered. I'm glad that at least two of the royal family are actually going to earn a living honestly instead of because the royal family. It's like, imagine the Kardashians there. Imagine if you had to pay for them with your tax. That's for me what the royals are. They're nationalized celebrities. So some people think, well, not many people think, but that, Meghan and Harry, hey, well, good for them. They're going to go out and they're going to make their own way in the world. Fine. And other people think, oh, how dare she come in and do this thing? And the Queen is going through all this. And at the time, Prince Philip was sick. Well, now he's gone. Maybe that, it's inappropriate and they should do the right thing. And I don't know. It's mixed. It is mixed. And people are talking about it, about Meghan Markle and whatever. They're not really talking so much about Prince Philip dying, because we thought he's going to die for about the last 20 years.
And once again,
99.
people, you do not want at your eulogy, Graham Mack in the UK. No way, buddy. Well, and I know that Prince Philip is dead, and I, Graham Mack, thought he was dead 20 years ago. Hey, the British royalty supposed to be here tonight? Where are you guys? Hey, he's getting no response. You know what you just said, though? And it literally just sunk in. If the Kardashians were a royal family, but yet we had to pay taxes to them, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's what it is. That's what the royal family is. They're a family of nationalized celebrities. There's this one family of German origin, and they get better social housing than someone who is not in that family and doesn't work. That's kind of what it is.
Man, oh man.
It all comes down to it.
That is something else. Well, the perspective couldn't be delivered more eloquently than by you, Mr. Graham Mack. There's certainly... Buzz, you remember when we went to London? The one thing I remember about the pubs in London was I had a snake bite.
Yeah.
What is that
Some
again?
pubs have... A snake bite is a half a pint of sweet cider with half a pint of lager. And where I come from in Liverpool, there are certain pubs that will not serve snake bite because it causes fights. If you have a snake bite, you drink. With a snake bite I don't know whether you discovered this. When you drink the first one, because it's so sweet, you drink it quite quickly. And you also do that with the second one, and then it starts taking effect. And on the third one, you slow down. But a weird thing happens there's a chemical reaction happens between the lager and the cider. If you leave it standing too long, these weird things form that look like peanuts. So now you have a drunken man with a glass, and he's like, who's been throwing peanuts in my beer?
Oh, my God.
And off it goes.
Oh,
and
my
so
God.
some pubs will not serve snakebite.
We have learned so much from the man in the UK. Oh, my God. And that was my favorite drink. But you're right. It was like going down like Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love the pubs. I love it. Graham Mack, always a pleasure to talk to you. I know you're going to be mourning. You'll be in mourning for a few weeks or minutes.
A few weeks, yeah, Johnny,
waiting for Gogglebox to return.
That's right. When that returns, the morning is over.
To tell you the truth, I believe Graham Mack is more saddened by the fact that giant rabbit has disappeared than anything else.
Yeah, I think it's more relevant. Yeah.
And I don't know if you people saw this, but a giant rabbit, the world's biggest rabbit, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, was stolen from a woman. And I think it is more relevant than the man I'm looking at in this casket right now.
99 natural causes.
Get out of my funeral. Get out of my funeral. Graham Mack, once again, here from the Pod 20, London's podcast radio. Graham, anytime, brother, you're always welcome. You're the best. Oh,
Johnny, real thrill.
Wait, by the way, we got to mention, though, if you want to see what that gentleman was talking about, a lot of people commented on it because I don't get interviewed. And Graham Mack interviewed me, and that is on, go to brandmeiershow.com and go to clips, and you'll see Graham Mack. GrahamMack.com, that's you, right?
That's me, GrahamMack.com, all the videos and everything on there, all the links to everything, and that Johnny B interview was just so great. You were so great on that, Johnny. It was so much fun.
I never really, people don't ask me questions, so I don't answer them. You want to ask me a question, I'll answer it. Graham Mack, thanks a lot, brother.
Thanks a lot, Johnny. Thanks, bud.
The Jonathan Brandmeier Showcast.